What is up? Welcome back to the LuxAlgo live stream. My name is Jacob. I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Bitcoin has officially hit 40K. We've been watching that level forever. Finally busted through it. Trading about 42K right now, which is absolutely insane. We've been watching that daily order block for a while now. But hopping into today, a lot of the markets are red, but there's one market that's green, and that is the crypto market. You gotta love when they run opposite like that. But for now, let's take a look at our quick market update with the Dow Jones down 84 points today. The SP 500 is barely in the green with 6 points. NASDAQ in the green with 90 points. And man, Bitcoin is by far our leader for today. But for the news this week, we got to make sure we keep up with it because we had a big report that came out this morning. We had the ISM non-manufacturing came out as a beat from the 52 estimate there, and 58 on the prices, 58.3 versus the 58 estimate. So pretty much on track. A lot of this has been priced in. We had a nice sell-off yesterday, but going into today, not too bad. It's been kind of a break even on the day, and then had a little bit of a bounce back from the after hours movement that we had. But we do have ADP tomorrow. We have the non-farm employment change. We'll see how that gets reported. 128K is predicted. And then we have that is pre-market. So be prepared, an hour, 15 minutes before market opens. That's going to be popping up there. And then that's about it. It looks like we have crude oil. If you trade crude oil at 10:30, it's recently been priced in quite a bit on those reports. But then Thursday, you have the jobless claims, like always. And then going into Friday, I think that's it on Thursday. Going into Friday, we have the average hourly earnings and then non-farm payroll. Big week for non-farm payroll coming out. So be prepared for that. Pre-market at 8:30, about an hour before open. And the rest of the day on Friday is kind of just chilling. But yeah, that and the unemployment rate, of course, on Friday is going to be a big number to watch. So if you want, just hang out, wait until Friday, or just wait for the week to be over and then come back next week and trade. But no, Friday, I would just maybe set your hands, or if it comes out to be a good pre-market, good price action, not much volatility, then it could be worth trading that day. But just note 8:30, an hour before open, there's going to be some news. But let's kind of dive in to the charts now. Make sure we go over everything that happened over the weekend with Bitcoin, because man, what a move we had. Absolutely insane. We talked about for weeks now these higher lows that have been set on this 4-hour time frame, right? These higher lows ended up completely eventually blowing out the highs and hitting that upper order block above 40K, and we're right inside of it right now. We also said a good target would be this 4-hour order block alongside the daily here, and 1 second. We're saying that because notice they're overlapping with that daily order block. Well, whenever we see the overlaps, that's normally the target that we really like to hit. So we're getting multiple levels overlapping. So in this case, on the 4-hour Bitcoin here, we have this 4-hour order block, which is in gold, the daily order blocks, which is in purple, and then white is the 1 hour. So when we're in this zone up here around 42,500, right? This is where we start to think, okay, this might be a take profit level. This is an opportunity where we might want to just hold off and wait for the next cycle, wait for the next run. But in this case, man, this thing has been just nonstop cranking over the past weekend, and you just gotta love when you see these daily candles play out like that. We've been watching this forever. We said that, if we get up over these previous lows that we had back in January 22, and then even May of 21, these lows that were set and became bounces, right? Eventually got hammered when we made that rally back down in late last year, about a year ago actually. And then we made that rally back. We said if we get back over those lows, then we're going to probably see a really nice pump through the 40K level. And look at that. We have the 40K. Predicted gold to hit 2K by the end of the year. Predicted Bitcoin to hit 40K end of the year. Man, we've just been on fire recently. And you got to love it. You just got to identify the price action and execute the best way you can. So great job to those of you guys that have been holding for sure. You're definitely finally seeing some money back into your account if you've been holding for a long time. But for those of you that traded this off of these lows or have been holding, it's good to see some green for once in a while. You know, it's just we've been waiting for this forever. So appreciate you all being here. I was gonna see who's back. We're a little bit earlier today on the stream, so seeing some new faces, it looks like, which is pretty cool. So welcome if you're new here. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're coming back. Sorry, I'm reading one of your messages. If you're back again, we appreciate you being here. Other than that, guys, we like to make a goal of getting our likes to 100. We usually are live at noon, so a lot of people honestly don't know we're live today. We'll see if they end up tuning in later. But for those of you that are here and all the new faces, welcome. Man, for those of you also that don't know how we do this, we pretty much just chart all the majors here in a second, go over the time frames we like, kind of talk about what's to come this week. And then we take suggestions. So if there's any specific asset you want to go over on a specific time frame, etc., just reach out, put it in the chat. We're happy to look over it. Yeah, Mickey's gonna come in here and go over some charts as well with us. So if you have questions for him or me, just let us know, and we're happy to answer them. But for now, George, what's up, man? Bill, welcome. Erica, welcome. We appreciate you guys. And sorry, I'm just watching a move here on Copper. I've been watching.
Copper.
That's it hit my strategy today.
Copper. You keeping that a secret from us, huh? Copper.
No, I was watching. So, right, this is a strategy we've been using for a while. I didn't get filled my full position, which I'm kind of upset about. But sorry, I've been watching this on the opposite screen. I'm probably just gonna close out at $500. But essentially, for those of you that are new, we like to see the overlap of the smart trail and the what's it called? And the Neo Cloud. That's our entry point. Our stop loss is a mental stop if it breaks like this. But in this case, we target this low. I forgot to set a TP there, but we ended up. I just closed it there just to be done with it. But in that case, yeah, that's what we look for. Look for that reject or just set up. Try to enter as high as we can. That way, if it does break to the upside, we have that stop loss. Pretty short. But I was gonna see here. Yeah, I mean, gold had it set up too. I didn't miss. There you go. I mean, here it happened earlier, and gold broke the low on this reject, came through. Let me see. NASDAQ. All right, let's take a look at our majors, starting with the Dow on the daily. Dow on the daily is it's inside that 4-hour order block. You can see it's already having a pretty decent rejection. But after it broke that high, right? It's retesting a high from back in January of 22, so pretty much a year ago. And so, we're rejecting this order block. We like to see those 4-hour order blocks get reject like that. Yeah, we'll look at DAX for sure. Sorry, somebody asked, please, what are the best eggs for trade crypto like Bitcoin in the 1-minute time frame with price action concepts? So, I mean, 1 minute's rough. I would probably suggest 3 to 5 minutes if you're going to trade. Like lower time frames.
I like 10 seconds.
He said he likes, yeah, I don't know about that. Luke likes the 15 seconds. I don't know how long he did that, though, for.
For 15 seconds?
Right. I don't think I've seen a 15-second chart from him in a while. But Luke, if you're here, we love you. Anyway, But here you go. This is healthy retracement on the Dow would be 35,800. You know, this previous high, right? We want to make sure, you know, we respect these levels, get retracements. We have a fair value gap, imbalances, you know, sitting from this high break pump. So healthy retracement would probably be to retest that previous high. But for now, we're rejecting that 4 hour. So I wouldn't be looking long or short until long if we come back down and get a clean retest of that 35,800 level. And NASDAQ at the same high, right? This is turning into somewhat of a should be a breaker block here. If I had them up, we could probably see them. Let's see if they pop up. And they do right there. So there you go. We're currently inside a breaker block, right? We broke this order block here from that previous high, pretty much about the same level there as a lower high. We broke through it. Now we're retesting it, right? So when we see these retests, we like to indicate, you know, we want to see a somewhat of a close like this, where it does re-enter but close outside. So if it does get a close today on the NASDAQ over 15,900 ish, 930, 950, we might look for a bullish setup on a lower time frame, and then, you know, have maybe tomorrow have a green day, or a bigger green day in this case. But it really depends on how we close today on that current breaker block that we are sitting in. So you can notice we're perfectly bouncing off this previous lower high as well, which is really good. It's good to see that proper market structure. So if that is the case, definitely want to look for a trade to maybe go retest those highs on a lower time frame if you guys are day traders. For the ES, it's going to be a little bit similar. In this case, though, there was an order block sitting up here at this high back in July. Rejecting it currently, but we're inside of a big mess here, right? So in this case, we like to see clean movements outside of these order blocks. So for the ES, I would want to see a clean break through that high we had back in the summer, and then we would go maybe target this upper order block. So for now, we're looking at 4,600 and like 34, 35 would be a nice daily candle close for us to continue. For now, though, you know, NASDAQ, ES run a little similar. So, you know, they might bounce together, especially if that price action is setting up nicely on the ES. For the Russell, man, this thing has had a lot of volatility recently inside that daily order block. So this is something, once again, we sit on our hands, we wait kind of thing. And we'll see what we get. Appreciate your time frame for swing trading and positional trading. So swing trading, 4 hour daily, 1 hour. Day trading, 5 hour, 3 minute, 15 minute. Yes, gold. Good call. Go over gold. Gold, massive spike. Wow. That ran through, let's see here. Unreal. We weren't on stream yesterday, so I didn't even... Oh, this was on late Sunday. I forgot about that. So coming into market open, it looks like on Sunday, had a very massive gold spike. Anybody know the news on that spike, by the way? I don't necessarily know what drove that. You could probably see it here on this guy. Let's see here. Gold takes breather ahead of key U.S. jobs report. I was going to see. It's just people talking. We can probably find the news, but I'm sure you guys know if you trade gold. Either way, technical analysis is... you know what happened to gold there on Sunday when it opened? Mickey?
I just sold all my shares. That's what happened.
Did you see that pump though?
Yeah, I saw the pump, and I was gonna go over it when I hit my charts. It's a tough place to.
Do you know what drove it though?
No, I don't. I mean, I know there was news at that time. I forgot what it was.
Man. But man, what a massive rally. In this case, the overall analysis what we like to talk about here is these.
Oh, and I know what it was. This JP was talking.
This was after hours. So this was at market open on Sunday night.
JP.
This was Sunday night though. Let's see.
What day was Sunday?
I wonder if I pop it up.
Yeah, so it was like I think a half a day after JP talked.
The geopolitical uncertainty. Yeah, I mean it. I could see it being the same as why anything like it would pump in the first place.
What time did JP talk? JP talked towards the end of the
was,
session, right? On Friday?
I guess you're right. Yeah, he did talk. Like,
yeah,
and
then the pump, came back on Sunday when the market opened up. So it was a reaction towards his speech, I bet.
Yeah, maybe.
On Friday, because
Either
Saturday,
way, man, what a move! That thing hit a high of let's see right here,
lifetime high.
Yep.
There are no levels above.
2148. Yeah, that's a big. That can be a big push as well. Yes, we are on the LuxAlgo channel, so we are LuxAlgo. That could be, that's a big step forward as well. When you see price, especially something like gold that's been traded for so long, they come to these really key levels like all-time highs, setting new highs alongside, Jerome talking. It can really spike some volatility, and man, what a up and down it had late Sunday. That high of a 2148. So it did crack the 2100 level that we also talked about last week. We thought, at this rate, with the consistency as it running, the 2100 level look really, really strong. But for now, for a break, at least for a new all-time high, but that wasn't even higher. For now, I do like where we're at. No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Yes, we are LuxAlgo. We're happy to answer any LuxAlgo questions. But for now, we're just going to go over kind of some of these charts here. But price action wise, non-news wise, for those of you that trade price action, this current state, I really like this level. Okay, so on gold here, 2000, very, psychological level, whatever. But in this case, this has definitely had a chance to have its breather that it might have needed to continue. The reason I like this level a lot, though, is because we are in a current spot where, we had a previous high before we did make that full breakout that we had this past end of November. But in this case, this is a fantastic level to come retrace to based on that previous movement. So if we were watching, proper price action, any retest of a high or a low is really good to see. If we pull back, we had our first run here through the 2K level. We did break that high pretty easily, but never found a support level on top of that. So if this were to hold here, we have these 4-hour order blocks overlapping, which is really good. We have the 1 hour and the 4-hour order block here together, which is strong. So we want to see how price trades in this level before considering any upside or downside move. And that's just part of the game, right? You can't just jump on a chart and see an entry and take it. Like, sometimes that might occur, especially if you have a strategy that you're watching. But in this case, you can't, do it. And we have to sit here. We have to wait for that opportunity to present itself. For now, what we like to read is how price reacts to some of these order blocks. In this case, we have the 1 hour and the 4-hour overlapping. So let us see how price reacts to those order blocks combined. And if we do get a clear reaction and showing that it wants to bounce, then we would consider, a long trade on a lower time frame. So, Mr. Gold said, which indicator you use to trace the support resistance level? This is the LuxAlgo price action concepts indicator. It gives you all of your price action, gives you order blocks, fair value gaps, liquidity zones, stuff like that. But we do, what's awesome now, have we have a lower plan, an essentials plan on our website at luxalgo.com that strictly just gives you the price action concepts indicator if this is something that you're more into. That way you don't have to, go full-fledged, get all three indicators. But in this case, yes, the price action concept indicator gives you those levels to target and watch for bounces or rejects. But for now, man, this daily 3 signal we had on Bitcoin can't get any better than that. It pretty nearly set up our normal strategy. What's up, Brad? Welcome back. I wonder if it did bounce. So there you go. That's why we take profit at the low. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back and see how copper was doing. But here, I mean, this is something we look for quite often, is everything lining up on all 3 indicators. So we have that change of character, bullish move. We have the smart trail flip, bullish move. Got a 3 signal, bullish move. Got the money flow flip as well, bullish move. So normally what I like to say is I like to wait for the hyper trend to come back down to the 50 level and show its strength. Had clean support here, so you could have actually had somewhat of an entry around here based on that strategy before that 40K run. But overall, just based on this breakout and that money flip, man, what a bullish move, especially after this choppy price action that we had. Absolutely insane. Let's take a look at signals and overlays on gold as well. Make sure we're getting everything we need here. Oh, man. Those is all stuffed up. Let's see. That's the worst, man. It's driving me nuts.
You need like an oxygen mask or something.
I need that Navage thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No, don't do it live, please.
Do the Navage live? No, I'm not gonna do it live. Good gosh. No, the Navage would be a lifesaver right now, to be honest.
Just flush it.
What a commercial. In this case, for gold here, let's go back to the daily chart and pull that up so you guys know. I'm gonna take off autopilot for now, and then put on the optimized sensitivity of 10. Okay, 10 was our optimized sensitivity here, and we can kind of go back and see. So, gold obviously had that all-time high break. This had a very clean setup. We talked about this in many streams already. We had a perfect retest of a breaker block. And this is why we do like having those breaker blocks up on higher time frames, because if we were to go back in time when this was getting a retracement here, you'll see this breaker block that it was forming. And this is what we're talking about on ES and the the NASDAQ right now, is identifying if its breaker block wants to continue to hold that support. It comes from a previous lower high, right? You get the support off of it, and then there you go. That's pretty much confirmation. You have a turning point on the oscillator as well. You get your confirmation there. If you want extra confirmation, well, guess what? You just wait for that signal to come through, which was right here. You have your 3 signal come through there. And then, it's ready for that, potential breakout. If the money flow flips, you can even take it after that, targeting that upper order block, which hit beautifully. And now we're kind of coming back off of that. So what I'm watching now is this previous high to hold, and pretty much 2K. You could just say 2,000 would be a good price point to hold. But what I really like about gold, yeah, we'll look over Euro USD next, actually. What I really like about gold is seeing that, we just had this money flow flip, right, on the daily chart, which is really good. We've been bearish for a while. So if this has a good retracement, like it's already trying to do, and you get a nice turning point, so another turn like this, it looks like this guy. If you get one of those with the bullish money flow and these candles stay green and the price action looks good, I would really consider, a long to maybe go retest this high, if not break through it. So seeing that the money flow just flipped is, I'm really bullish through the end of the year here to see if we can kind of break up, maybe actually retest that high. But in this case as well, if we were to pull a Fibonacci here, that high was so high there, but we are at the 618, which lines up with that previous high, which is really good. So in this case, maybe we do have an opportunity here, so long as we show that support. So for now, we kind of just hold off and wait, and then kind of go from there. But as you can see here, yeah, even the 4 hour here, we're trying to hold up a bit. But the 4 hour is not, I don't like it as much as that daily time frame. Let's see, its optimized sensitivity is 18, so let me change that. Man, here, okay, so those of you that are new, this is ideally my favorite strategy, using all three of these indicators. And like we just talked about, it's when everything lines up, right? So in this case, we had a 2 signal. It comes after a break of structure and then you get a change of character, right? Not necessarily taking that entry yet, because I want to see this money flow flip, right? I want to see bearish money flow come out of the market and then turn into bullish money flow, right? So in this case for gold here, I wouldn't be necessarily entering. What I like to look for at this point is a retrace back to the smart trail. Smart trail is one of my favorite features of all of these indicators, because it really helps with giving you nearly the best entry points, honestly. But if you want extra confirmation, you have 1 here with the BOS, you have 2 here with the change of character, you have 3 here with the signal, right? You have 4 here with the money flow flip. You have 5 here with the smart trail bounce, right? And then my entry is right here at 6 with this turning point. This is entry, right? So this is what we look for on these. Every single feature to line up perfectly. And this happens more often than you would think. But right here, this one, sure, the entry point seems a little high, right? But again, this is purely for swinging. So, or at least we're on this time frame, it's for swinging. You can use this on a 5-minute time frame, but honestly, for swinging, you're probably better off swinging. Always swinging. But 2 to 1 usually is our target, but you know, we like to let one, you know, depending on your position sizing, you can always let one ride. In this case, it only took, you know, about a week to hit that 2 to 1 target, with a max of, wow, because of that peak there, it was a very aggressive max, but the max was 5 to 1, but let's just say it was the close of this candle here because that's more realistic. Almost 4 to 1 there on that setup. But that's just because you were patient. You waited for each step to be set up, right? So that's something that I really look for when I'm looking for kind of longer term trades. And could have had it there on gold for a beautiful, beautiful trade. Karen wanted the Euro USD, and then we're going to pass it over to Mickey here after I go over this. And honestly, Mickey, if you want to start on the Euro.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go over it real fast, and then I'll have you take over. Benji, what's up, buddy? You missed it. I had a trade on copper here. Right as the stream started, I was in it. Had a trade on the Neo Trail copper. All right. Euro USD here. We're going to pull it up over here as well. I want to see the multi-time frame order blocks too, but this thing's been selling off, right? So this is where we talk about, you know, if price doesn't fully react to these order blocks, right? It broke through this pretty cleanly, this order block here. But what do you see on top of this is, if I were to go into the price action concepts indicator, if I were to click on the FVGs here, you're going to notice that we had 2 massive fair value gaps here, 2 massive imbalances, right? There's no imbalances, like barely, very small imbalances on this up move. So seeing these massive imbalances, you know, price tends to retrace to these levels, and we're already filling, you know, majority of them. We filled this one already here, as you can see, but it looks like we have a decent imbalance to continue to fill. I don't know if this will fully fill. It doesn't seem like it will, just because of this previous higher high that it had. So in this case, I would honestly target to the downside this range. Let me pull up my box. I would target this range here. It lines up with the fair value gap as well. So, you know, starting at that high of 107.538 is where I would, you know, sit and kind of wait and see if it, you know, shows some type of buying pressure. For now, I mean, you know, it could happen earlier, but I mean, we do have an imbalance there. So it definitely could really try to fill that before continuing any more. So it does seem a little bearish here on the 4 hour. If we pull up the daily, as you can also see, it's currently inside of that massive imbalance that we had. So, wow, that rejected that order block perfectly. We had this perfect reject order block here. That's what we talk about reaction. You want to see stuff like that. Beautiful reaction. I do, though, however, on the daily time frame, really like this setup. So this is actually triggering kind of our setup, which is really cool. So we did have a break of structure into a change of character. We had a Neo flip, right? Here's the daily. We had a Neo trail flip. Okay. Which is really good. So you have 1, you have 2, you have 3 here. We have 4 with the signal. And then, so this, you know, it did go bearish on the money flow. Money flow is still fresh, though, right? It's still fresh out of that downtrend. So it is still setting up nicely. So we could say this is 5. If I can get it, if I can draw, you gonna let me draw here. This would be 5 with that money flow flip that we've had. And so now, because we're inside of this imbalance, and okay, so we're, you know, we have 5 levels of confluence, right? Because we're inside of this imbalance here, right? And we're at that smart trail. I really like the euro for a potential long opportunity. Not yet. We want to see the reaction. So the way to see a confirmed reaction, though, is what? Getting a turning point on the oscillator matrix. So if we get a turning point like this, right? A green turning point, which is the next thing that would happen, that would confirm that we do have a bounce, right? So essentially what has happened is we have to have a daily candle that is bullish and more than likely closes upward. That was a really bad daily, but it's a daily candle that more than likely closes up, right? This is trading down. If I were to take off, you know, the candle coloring, which I will just so you can see it, this is, you know, a bearish candle we're in. But if we had a bullish candle form here, and it closes somewhat like that, you're probably going to see that turning point. If not, you would need 2 days. You're probably going to get 2 bullish days to get a turning point out of this because of how aggressive this sell-off is. But I really like that the smart trail of this fair value gap is lighting up here. So in this case, really strong potential here for a nice daily entry for a swing, so long as that gets confirmed. And like I said, the best way to see confirmation is if you get that bullish turning point on the oscillator matrix. So let's see if we get that turning point there in the next few days, and then we'll definitely review it and come back and check it out. But let me check out your question. Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, I bet if I were to pull up here, Benji, the Neo Cloud. Oh, it's a bearish Neo Cloud. That's kind of lame. But let's see here. We'll turn that off. All right. But in this case, yes, really like the euro for long, so long as it confirms this level. So we wait. Once again, you got to wait for that setup. For short, there's for now, no short. If you want a short, it has to potentially come into a short setup.
You can swing this on a daily?
Yeah.
Nice.
Me? Like you talking about me?
You. Yeah, you.
I mean, if in my actual broker account, I can, not in a prop firm account. Yeah. I'm just saying in general, this looks really good on a daily chart. I mean, but yet again though, I could just come in each day and reposition it, right? Which I might. I'll probably just, if on the challenge account, I'll probably just each day come back, buy it again, you know. But we'll see. For now, though, really nice on this bull side. I would go short on this yet. We're gonna see. We need to see double top or a retest of this fair value gap, stuff like that. But for now, we're leaning more bullish than bearish for a setup at least, right? But Mickey, you want to take us through some of what you're seeing over there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take
Let's head over to my charts.
Swig of my coffee here. But
yeah, and
right,
you can do your, what do you call it? Lavage or navage or whatever.
Yes, I need a Navage. I'm actually gonna blow my nose here. So
Tune in
but
15 minutes for Jacob's demonstration on his
Navage.
nasal passageways.
Good gosh. But
All
go
right.
ahead, take us away, Mickey.
All right, Euro USD. Let me start from scratch, and we'll head over to the dollar. Okay, the dollar plays a very important role for the forex pairs in correlation or decorrelation. Okay, it's kind of obvious. On the 4-hour chart, we are in an uptrend. Okay, so if we switch back to the Euro USD, the dollar is in the back half of the forex pair. So if the dollar itself is bullish, right, the Euro USD should be bearish because price needs to follow the dollar. Price needs to move from the euro to the dollar. That's why it's going bearish. Okay, so here we are, 4-hour chart. How do you like my colors? Blue and white. I bet you can't find some memes for blue and white, Jacob.
Oh, I bet I could.
no more bumblebees.
I bet I can find something for the blue and white.
All right. So Jacob described his signals and overlay charts and what he's looking for long. You know, I like longs too, you know, for the euro. And just like he mentioned, not quite just yet. You know, visually, I see some fair value gaps. This one's mitigated. We have one more to go, right? If we zoom out a little bit, you can see some congestion right here. Okay. Maybe price would do something like this, somewhere in this congestion, right? There's a bunch of stuff going on here. We don't know what it is, but let's just draw that, okay? And then we head higher, right? There's so many ways we can play it. We could do some kind of fib. I'm going to randomly do a fib, right? Somewhere there, retraces back, hits, you know, my golden pocket. You may have a different golden pocket, but it should be somewhere here, heading higher, right? That's the theory, right? But let's make our jobs just a little bit easier, right? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to overlay some order blocks, price action concepts. Okay. Let's keep it simple. And for those of you that are new in the community, I'm going to describe my chart here. Okay. The first instance of price action concepts, I'll go over the settings. I have, for demonstration purposes, right, I have the order blocks turned on. Okay, default is actually 5. Okay, which is a good number. You 5, you are focusing on the most recent 5 key levels. Okay, but for the 4-hour chart, I use that for a bias. So I want to see as many levels as possible. I'll input 500. 500 is not some special number. It's just in case I want to see 20 or 50. I got them all. Okay. I have all the other features disabled. Okay. I show breaker blocks. Okay. So on this chart, we can see some key levels here, right? 4-hour chart with 4-hour order blocks. You can see the test rejection of these order blocks. Okay. Also on this chart, I love to show a higher time frame order blocks. So for a 4-hour chart, I love to show the daily order blocks. Okay. I have that green and red, different colors, so I can easily distinguish from the 4-hour order blocks, because the 4-hour order blocks, I have them in gray tone. Okay. So the higher time frame, I have them in color tone. Okay. So with this chart, we're only seeing daily. We have 4-hour candles with daily order blocks. This alone is pretty good. Take a look. Take a look at the reaction when price hits this daily order block. Now it bounces up. Look at price when it hits the ceiling of this daily order block. Now it's heading back down. Okay. Not too bad, right? Not too shabby, as they say. But let's turn on the 4-hour order blocks. Okay. So hopefully this chart is not overwhelming because we've layered one piece by one piece so you can focus on what is what. Okay. Major levels are the colored order blocks. The charting timeframes order blocks are in the gray tone. Okay. So this is what I like to see on the euro for me to take along. Okay. For me, I like to see pads. There's certain pads. Path, P-A-T-H, right? I like to see a rejection of this order block heading higher. Okay. That could be one path. Depending on news or what's going on in the world, this may continue to be bearish. If so, I want to see a breakthrough of the daily order blocks, reject, and head down into this mess. Okay. Now, if it breaks through that, this pair's in deep trouble. Okay. My rule is a mechanical concept. Okay. I try not to have ambiguity. I try not to analyze too much. I want clear black and white rules. Okay. It just keeps me insane. Right. I do not trade inside of any order block. I will trade when it rejects away from an order block, and I will trade when it breaks through an order block. If it takes one of these two paths, I will bring down my chart to a lower time frame to manage my trade. Okay, so this is the Euro USD. Okay, let's let me revisit gold here. All right, here's gold, all-time high. I mean, we're talking all-time high since dinosaur age, right? For me, based on this strategy, I need to sit on the sidelines a little bit. Okay, there are no other levels above. Clear sky, right? Let's change this to monthly so I can squish this. Look at that. See? Since this symbol was born, we are at all-time highs. There are no other levels above, right? So for this particular strategy, right? For me, there's only a couple more plays I could take, right? I'll show it to you right here. This is what I'll be looking for. Okay. It already broke down, right? So that's one place. So now we're here. Right now, I'm going down to a lower time frame. I'm looking for longs, right? I am looking for longs to go back to that level. That is the play. If I was trading this second right now, I'll be on my 15-minute chart. I'll be looking for longs, okay? If there is no market structure change to the upside on the 15 minutes, that's it. I'd still need to wait for that market structure change to the upside on the 15-minute, okay? Now, if there's no market structure change to the upside, this is what I'll be waiting for. I'll be waiting for price to break through. And I'll be taking a short in here to go down. Okay, but right now I'm looking for longs right now. Now, if price rejects, comes back up, right? Price goes back up here. I am done. I am done. There is one other level right here, right? After this, once it hits this level, and if it keeps on going up, for this particular strategy, I need to sit on the sidelines. There's nothing up above here. The only way I could see me trading is draw a fib extension, right? That's the only way I could see technical wise for myself, right? Let's do something here. I could do this, right? I'm just gonna randomly do this, right? It's not accurate, but I could do that. Maybe some entry levels down here, right? And I don't have the fib extensions on right now, and maybe target some levels here. Okay. Other than that, that is gold, the way I see it. Okay. Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
My ledger's loving life right now. All right. Okay. Here we go. As Jacob mentions, we are hitting this daily order block. There is a 4-hour order block up here. Let's turn that on. Okay. Jacob's got some winner chicken dinner. According to his strategy, his target is the 4-hour order block overlapping the daily. We're right there. Okay. But here we go. What is the next major one? The 50 level. This is what I'm looking for. I hope. For my wallet's sake, I hope. I want to see this. I want to see that. Okay. That's what I want to see on Bitcoin. Okay. But if Bitcoin does not cooperate, I want to see this. Those are the swing plays on Bitcoin for me. If I were to trade Bitcoin on the 4-hour, right there, okay? I will not trade Bitcoin in here. No, sirree, Bob, I'm out. Okay. Yeah. Box right here. That red box. I am not trading inside this order block because I created mechanical rules for myself. It needs to trade outside of an order block. Okay. Anyone wants to take a look at other pairs of symbols on the 4-hour price action concept charts before I shoot it back to Jacob?
Guys, if you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you hit it before you tune out. We appreciate you guys being here. We have a goal of hitting 100 likes per stream, so we're hoping you can get us there today. We have an earlier stream today, so most people aren't used to us streaming around this time, so probably why we're a little lower on you guys being here. Plus, everybody's at work as well, so the lunchtime crowd should be here shortly. But
I'm hungry.
If you're new, please subscribe because we're going to start ramping up this stream, coming back more often, and be here for you guys. Alex, welcome back, my friend. Welcome. But I was looking at, yes, we are thrilled about Bitcoin hitting that 40K mark, man. It's absolutely massive move.
Right. One last thing I want to go over cable before I shoot it back over to you. Hey, everyone that's trading cable, right? Cable's a little bullish, but cable stalled, right? It's stalled right here. Why is it stalling, right? It's stalled right there, right? Daily order blocks. There are daily order blocks here. So if you turn them on, right, that is the reason why. Okay. That is the reason why, it's stalling here. Okay, so where's the next target? On the daily order blocks. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's one target to the downside. If it comes back up,
yeah, it's nuts, Brad.
We got that. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for cable. GBP USD, British pound US dollar. Okay, now if we turn on the 4-hour order blocks, it gives me a little highway mess, right? When you see a ton of order blocks on my chart, that means it was a slow grind in the past. Okay, it was a slow grind in the past. That's how I analyze my chart, right? If we go to the dollar, right? Not too much of a slow grind. It's the same 4-hour and it's the same settings on the order blocks. Lots of free open space. Okay, give you another example. The euro, a little bit more open space, right? But if you go to the GBP USD, not too much open space, right? That tells me it was a very slow, choppy grind in the past. So this may be a pair I may need to sit out, right? So that's one way of me to filter out which symbols I would trade. Okay, let's take a look at ES, right? ES, it's caught in between two daily order blocks. That's why we are chopping right now. You may scalp this on a lower time frame and you're eating chicken dinners every day, but on a swing chart on my 4-hour, ES is sandwiched in between some daily order blocks. For ES, it needs to break out so it can give me some breathing room to take some trades with less stress. Okay, that's what I need to see for me to jump in on ES. And if it goes down any further, I hope not. But there's lots of free open land right here, right, on the downside. But if we go up, there's some good spots here too as well. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at.
Oh,
all right.
Brutal.
Okay. So that's how I distinguish which symbols I trade on my order blocks. If I see a lot of levels, it tells me in the past, the most recent past, it was very slow and choppy. I need to see open land right here. See, open space. Okay. So that's it for me for the order blocks. Jacob.
Beautiful. Man, I've had to blow my nose like 5 times in the last 15 minutes.
Let me know if you need to leave again.
I'll let you know, man. It's
okay.
My allergies have been so bad recently. It's driving me nuts. But Bitcoin hasn't been driving me nuts as it's been cranking today. Almost 43K on that price point. Let's get there. Like, let's hit 60K end of year, honestly, at this rate. But
if it hits 60, I'm cashing out my ledger. I'm done.
There you go. Be done. I mean, guys, this thing has room. It does. There's a lot of room here. I will say, on average, we do have these very nice pumps. And once we do, we find a zone to find, after I get rid of this crazy highlight here, we find zones here to chop around a bit. So prepare for that to be coming soon. I would say at our next level. What level will that be? In this case, let me throw on the candle colorings here again. In this case, for now, let's go to a weekly chart. Really want to show weekly here. I mean, the biggest part about where we're at is that I really like this thing to where it won't stop till we hit this other weekly order block. We talked about the weekly breaker at this BOS that occurred below 40K, around 30,000. Once we had that full move through the 30K mark, there was a breaker block we were trying to get out of before we considered it any higher. We got that breakout of that order block, but now, just like we saw on gold, the money flow is still on the bear side. This is why this is so awesome to see, and has the potential of absolutely destroying that 50K level pretty soon. Is because of that bearish money flow that's just coming out, which is so great because we were super extended, like, right, in the past. We had this big sell-off. It finally flipped. But notice the time frame in which... Let me get all these drawings off. Notice the time frame in which this was still bullish money flow, right? You see the money flow before on the weekly chart. That was in this entire period right here, okay? So notice, coming from this high, it had these legs down. Then it finally flipped. But what's the best part about this is when this money flow finally flipped, was right here. Look at how much more room it had to the downside after that flip. So that's exactly what we're trying to see here on the upside. Except the best part about Bitcoin is when that upside volume comes in, it holds 10 times stronger than the downside volume. So in this case, if we get this money flow to flip and we get, you know, a quick reset, like a higher low is what we really need. If we get a nice higher low, we're probably going to crank through 50 to 60K by the middle of next year, if not earlier than that. Maybe by next summer. But right now, based on the current state that we're in, looking really strong to maybe have that halt above 45,000. So let's target 45,000 for now. This is that lower high. We have that upper order block. We talked about if we were to get volume into this market, our major target was this upper order block around 45K, which is beautiful. It's a previous lower high. Makes a lot of sense for price to head here. So we'll be on the watch for this right now. The only thing we do see is an imbalance that was formed back in April, that we're going to pay attention to here for a little bit because we're entering that imbalance right now to 44K. But I have no doubt that we might at least tag the 45K mark. If we don't, then it's because of this imbalance. But the high of that imbalance there is 44,259. If we break through that, I think we're really going to see a push into this order block. So 60K would be our target for middle of next year into the end of next year. So hopefully we get something like that sooner than later. That would be absolutely insane. But congratulations, man. Congrats to everybody that hodled through this. We're proud of you. I know it's been a long journey.
I was forced.
But man, its price is finally regaining the value that we've all been waiting for. We have that cycle coming through as well, which should get us up through 60 plus, hopefully. But you know, we'll be here each week to talk you through it. Make sure you're knowing what levels to watch. And for now, that 45K level is where you want to watch. It lines up perfectly with the order block and the top of an imbalance. Just a beautiful level to make sure that we keep an eye on. But for now, let's look at gold again. And we're about... I'm gonna turn up the timer here now. We're gonna start doing 2 hours on stream for you guys. We're a little past the 1 hour mark, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the a countdown on here so you guys know how long we're still here, and I'm gonna put a little text box.
Fancy.
Yeah, the stream's gonna get a lot. It's gonna be a lot different in the upcoming weeks, so enjoy this format while you can. It'll actually get better. Not worse. Let me see.
I like the previous version.
Dude, the previous version, please. But so new viewers that come in know how much longer we will be here. I'm gonna go ahead and update the let's get a nice little yeah, go. Or should we make it all air? This is my favorite font. There we go. Bam. There you go. So now people that come in know we're going to be ending in about an hour here. But
can I request an analog clock, please?
Analog clock. And that's pretty close to analog. 65K is forecasted on the Nashian forecast. That's pretty cool. But I mean, it's inevitable at this point, guys. You know, Bitcoin is our friend. The coin of the people, the currency of the people.
Okay.
Unregulated.
If you say so.
Right? Yeah. The number one illegal currency transport.
I forgot my keywords.
But look at these. Man, the price action's so good. We are actually. I would like to see if we get a reaction here on the hot weather killing nat gas. You know it. Yeah, it'll get cold pretty fast though. So maybe you start long and Ben. You can get some long swings in. get the nat gas, the low entries. But in this case, we're inside the 1 hour overlap as well. So we're inside a 4 hour on Bitcoin, a daily order block, and a 1 hour order block. That's something that, you know, we like to watch those multi overlays to see if it wants to not break it or not, or wants to reject it, show us some type of reaction. That's what we really like to look for at those levels. In this case, for now, this thing just wants to kind of probably soar on through it, but we'll see if that ends up happening. Those of you trading crude oil, notice the value of it at this moment. Low 70s. We had a feeling after the last report it would probably hit pretty low 70s. For those of you that remember, we just went over on the news front. We have the report coming out again tomorrow on crude oil. If I can pull it up here. Here you go. So it was at a surplus of 1.6 million barrels last week or last report. But in this case, they don't have a prediction yet, I don't think. Let me see here. So nothing's forecasted yet. They just have the previous report. You can see why the value has gone way down. We had 3 million, then we went up to 8 million. Now we're back down to 1 million. In this case, it's seeming as if we actually might post a negative number. We'll see. If we go back to the previous December, there's Edward. Man, we've missed you. We've missed the Amazon 4 hour chart comment. He's back. He's back. Mickey, you see our boys back. Sorry, let's go. I want to go back to December of what? Let's just look at November into December, see those reports. So notice it was pretty high negatives back in November. So going into December as well, still negative. So it'd be cool to see if we can hit the negative again there. We can get a nice bounce there on our crude oil chart. I mean, we're at the same low as well. So with this happening, I think, you know, we might get a decent bit of a retracement just because we've been at that low. And my the chicken dinner there is back on you. I guess I forgot to turn it off. Nah, it wasn't on the whole time because it goes off. But crap, I forgot it. The active countdown just goes off. All right, it's fine. We'll just leave it here so we don't mess with it. So we don't have to get that refresh when I went to go over the news. But in this case, crude oil, I mean, it's gotten quite a beat down recently. I could see us being negative on the barrel report, and we could see a little bit of price bouncing. But we'll see if we get that coming into tomorrow. If we don't, if it's still positive, then we'll probably see, you know, a continuation to the downside. But in this case, let's again, if you have suggestions, guys, that you want to go over, we're happy to. I know you probably posted stuff in the past, but if you're still here, you still want to see certain things, you just let us know which time. Know the time frame and the ticker would be great. Edward with the Amazon 4-hour chart. I mean, this level is been holding, man. There's not much to talk about on this chart at this current time. You're holding this key support here. We're not in any order blocks. If this were to break out, there you go. Your upside order block target is 158. That's what I would be looking for on a swing front. For those of you, again, if you ever see a company like Amazon under $100, you need to buy it. I mean, that was just common sense. We picked up a decent amount of these in the 90s, but man, if I was paying attention in the 80s, I would have probably bought a lot more. But picked them up in the 90s, and it's been paying off quite a lot recently, just with the nice rally we've had. But this case on the 4-hour, this level there, this the 140s. So long as it holds out those 140s, I think you're gonna be okay. You're gonna probably see end of the year move, which would be really nice. Yeah, let's look at that. We'll look at AVAX. Let me do Apple next real fast. Apple, massive spike right back into that daily order block, trying to break a new all-time high, which would be awesome. We have a 4-hour order block sitting there as well, but 194 to 197, good range to be watching, especially after that breakout. So you look really good for continuation of the upside, so keep an eye on it, and then maybe we'll retest that all-time high. So looks good on Apple and Amazon to continue to the upside. AVAX, USD, Avalanche. You want to look at the 4-hour and the daily. Okay, so what's cool here already is we're you said your site's on Uber. Okay, cool. All right, AVAX, Avalanche. We'll look at Uber as well. Did it just hit 43? It did. There's that spike again. The 5-minute pump. Remember, guys, 45. Gone over it already like a dozen times right now. 45K is our target right now. Remember the weekly order block. That weekly order block, the base of it is 45,238. Now, if we go, remember, to this chart setup, we look at it one more time on Bitcoin, 45K. The reason we really like it, though, is we had an imbalance to fill on the weekly. These weekly imbalances like to fill quite a bit. So we're already midway through that imbalance. We really want to see a touch at the top of it, which is at 44,239. So we want to see if we can fill that entirely. And then 45K is right behind it. So this range, though, again, this is the range we're watching. One more time. For those of you in the back, this is the range we're watching there. You have 45 to 48, right? So that is the range we're watching because of that previous lower high order block that we had. That is our targeting point for now, for maybe a little bit of consolidation before we, maybe continue higher through the end of the year. But let's go back to AVAX for you, Willie. And check us out on the Avalanche side. But let's start with the daily for you. This is following the same movement, Bitcoin being a monster, kind of leading us. But for now, man, this looks really good. This looks good to continue. This looks good for that breakout. Obviously, Bitcoin's driving this train, which is great. Let me turn off the breaker blocks for now on this one. So in this case, the reason I like it a lot, as you can see, we are rejecting a daily order block at this very moment, okay? But my favorite part about this is the oscillator coming back and kind of resetting at this high. So came back down to roughly 60. So with that coming back after a recent flip before this run, right? Really like this for a breakout so long as this order block can be broken. So I would be waiting for this 2374 breakout. Honestly, just say 24. 24 is probably the good price point to keep watch. If that does break, you have another order block sitting up there around 30. So breaking through 24, after that, targeting 30 is exactly what I would look for. The 4-hour state, as you can see here, very nice consolidation. Crypto, when it consolidates, tends to have a pop afterwards, which is really good. But again, oscillator sitting roughly at that 50 level, which is really strong for this to continue possibly heading higher through that 24, especially if we see Bitcoin cranking like it has been. So I think I like AVAX a lot for that $24 break, and then after that going for 30. So yeah, let's take a look at Ethereum following suit, giving us the green light. Like that police song, but it's red light. Roxanne. Mickey knows Roxanne, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm old. Okay.
All right, awesome. That's good. Anyway, this case, guys, if we were to pull up, let's go over to our order blocks template. So I want you guys to see if, let's go, there should be one. Yep, there you go. So this is what we fell into with Bitcoin as well, that we broke already. So this, Ethereum could be a little bit behind Bitcoin, but look at this price action is roughly the same. But guess what? Ethereum just recently broke its swing high. So with that weekly swing high that it broke, we have this breaker block sitting here. Now, this is a price in which we talked about before on Bitcoin. We wanted it to get through before making that big rally up to this, upper order block. So Ethereum's a little bit behind. It's delayed a bit. And at this state here on Ethereum, I think we have no problem hit $2,400 on this move, especially with Bitcoin doing what it's doing. But if we're going to actually get going on this thing, we need to break this previous lower low from this down move from the high. So you got the higher low. There's the previous lower low. It broke it with a nice breaker block sitting there. So essentially 25K, it's going to have to break and hold 25K. And it's going to, from there, probably continue to the upside. But a lot of imbalances continuing to get filled here on your left side. As you can see, we're inside of one as well at the moment. So really looking for a nice continuation through that breaker block if it were to, occur to break 24K. I think we're really going to break out of that breaker block there. So pay attention to that on Ethereum. But let's just all take a quick second to thank the crypto gods for our lovely pump that we're getting here today. 2% on the day as well. $1,000 today alone.
Come on.
Beautiful. Beautiful move. 45K, guys, is that target at the moment. So we'll see if we can get it. But look back here for a second. Let's see kind of what our boy gold is doing. What I'm gonna do here, actually, and we're in this 4-hour daily setup. 4-hour, 1-hour daily is trying to break right now. I'm gonna set an alert to see if we get a big push. If we get over that high that it tried to set there. So give me 1 second here. All right. Take a look at the ES, how it did today. See if we had any trade opportunities. And not really. Remember, I'm a big 5-minute trader. For those of you that know, no real trade opportunities on the ES. Gold today. Gold potentially some opportunity. But even the after hours price action was better than today's price action. Crude oil still dropping down. Remember, we like the low 70s tomorrow we'll get that report. Maybe we'll get a nice bounce off of that report. Hoping something like that. But we'll see for sure. But copper had that set up what I showed you guys earlier. Is this lining up the same as the euro was? Yeah, it is. Except it's getting a signal. Is euro? I have the wrong sensitivity on. So yeah, this had a signal beforehand. I really, really do like the euro for a bounce here. So we're just kind of waiting to see if that does want to bounce. Hopefully we get something. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. But for now, euro inside that imbalance. Bitcoin, wow, 43, holding strong. What's the best time frame to enter a short position? It depends on what you're trading. It doesn't. I mean, every time frame you can enter a short position on. If you see a setup. Yes. So currently we're looking at the price action concepts indicator suite here, or sorry, the LuxAlgo. This is price action concepts, which is the order box, but signals and overlays, which is what you're seeing on this side, was just the signals here. This is signals and overlays. So you can see here. Our optimized sensitivity is 11. So I'll go ahead and put up. So you can see off the dashboard down here. If we look actually at the dashboard, it can kind of tell us what's happening at the moment. We have moderate volatility, but we have a 91% trend strength. Very strong trend. So that's really good to see, especially with Bitcoin doing what it's doing. We want that to continue. But notice the squeeze has actually been increasing a bit, which can be really good. We're already seeing the impulse that we have now. And so, if that were to stay as high as it is, we might get, that push to 50K sooner than we think. So we'll see. But in this case, man, on my chart, you're seeing the AI signals through the signals and overlays indicator. Again, there's a 1 through 4 rating on these AI signals, 1 being the weakest, 4 being the strongest. My favorite is probably a 3, especially when it sets up. If you get a 3 setting up properly, it can be a nice trend continuation signal. 1s are early indication of reversals. So in this case, you want to see something like this, where you get a 1 signal and then a flip of a trend following retest. And that actually nearly lined up with the oscillator for a nice trade opportunity. Trend strength, I mean, you want to see it roughly 50%. 50% is a great spot to see. Like, if we go back and see here, let's see what we got. It's like, you have 20% here on that breakout. Then it hits 50, right? It's in the 50s. So in this stage, if I, have a trend set up, or even you could line it up with that 3 signal like we talked about, like right here, you're in the 83%, you get a 3 signal. This there, if you would have taken your long off of that 3 signal and then played it out, targeted a 2-to-1 with that trend strength. Remember, I like it as a trend continuation. Bitcoin crossing that high that we set there, man, this thing is cranking. But 2-to-1 here is what we were just talking about on this. What it is nearly about to hit here with the trend continuation, with the trend strength being above that 50 level. But, man, 43K is, I mean, it might go to 45 here on stream. That'd be awesome. How can we use scanners for trade? We do have a... scanners inside of our Discord. So yeah, guys, if you aren't a part of the Discord, make sure to go to the link in the description. Join the Discord, absolutely free. We trade with you guys every day. We're in there. We're answering questions about the LuxAlgo indicators, as well as charting with everybody, going over ideas. Once you do sign up, though, you do, depending on what level you are, you get access to certain channels as well. Like if you sign up for Ultimate, you get access to the Ultimate Laboratory is what we call it, because we're going through our back testing systems, right? We do have our new back testing system where you can back test our indicators to make sure, you're finding the most profitable strategies. And then people share them. They share them inside the Discord. They make sure that, if they can, have help with tweaking it to be the best strategy they can be, they, are right there being able to work with the people that have used it the most. So it's a lot of fun to kind of use all these different indicators, finding those best strategies and sharing them in the Discord. So join the Discord. It is free. When you do sign up, though, you get 30 days risk-free, and you do get access to those premium features in the Discord as well, like scanners and everything, alongside the 30 days. But Natgas, man, came way down there for a second. We'll see if it wants to continue, but this hot weather coming in for some reason in December is definitely driving this price lower on Natgas. But yeah, looking good. Bitcoin with a massive pump. Go back to the weekly here. Or the 4 hour. 4 hour now entering another order block on this time frame. This is actually a 4 hour order block here, coming back from Friday of April. In this case, notice something here. This could be a significant level. And we talk about, people always ask about what are these, green and red bars here. Well, what we like to talk about is the fact that if you see higher buyers versus sellers, you want to, first of all, think opposite. So this level, there was a lot of buyers before. That means that, the second time it comes by, it might not be as strong in buyers. With this bull run we're having, it's hard to tell, obviously, because we're already, as you can see, trying to just bust through it. But for the weekly, I think is our better off analysis of trading through this imbalance. And then that 45K is going to be our first take profit point. Really like that level on Bitcoin of 45,000. I mean, what a monster of a move. Anybody in some crazy price point? I remember
Don't ask.
I remember back during COVID when it broke below 10K. That was quite a time to be skeptical on Bitcoin. Now, only if you knew, right? 4x your money right now. Which is awesome. But obviously it ran up to 60K, so it's just shortly after that during the Dogecoin hype. But yeah, of course, man. Oscillator Matrix, you get access to all three of these with the premium plan in LuxAlgo. But also, if you want to be able to backtest them, you can sign up for the Ultimate. You get 3 more scripts to backtest your indicators as well. So definitely check that out on the website. Links is in the description, or you just search LuxAlgo on Google or LuxAlgo.com, and you can get a lot more information. I hit an absolutely insane price point in November of 21. Isn't that the big dog move? Yeah, it's nearly 70. That was crazy. At that point, people were like, let's go and do 100K this year. It's like the sheer value of it hitting nearly 70 is incredible. So congrats if you took profit up there, but the next run is in. Let's go. For now,
I'm still licking my wounds. I still remember.
Gosh. For now, beautiful target of 45K, I think, is going to hit pretty easily here. So we'll see if we can get it. We'll see if we can get it. Just looking over through the time frames. Let's take it down to the 1 hour. Take a look. With all of our order blocks here. And you can see there we do have a 1 hour lining up with the 4 hour, as well as it's starting to reject above that 44K. We talked about on the date, was it week? No, it was the daily. Sorry, on the 4 hour here. We talked about on this 4 hour time frame. That order block there with the higher buyers than sellers before, which could indicate, you know, more what's it called? More sellers to come through than buyers at that level. But man, actually, you know what, Mickey? I wonder if Bitcoin futures are doing really well right now, volume wise. I bet they are.
Yeah, that's tough. Let's
see. Oh yeah. Wow, this is the most volume we've seen probably on Bitcoin futures in a while. It's crazy. It's mostly on these pumps. Yeah, wow. About 4 days ago.
Don't like those gaps though, you know.
On the first, it had that big move, and then, well, I'm saying like right now it's trading strong, pretty strong. Yeah, I'm hoping we're hoping that the more volume comes into these futures at some point, which would be really, really nice, especially for those of you that do trade Bitcoin or trade futures. Sorry, Bitcoin futures would be great addition to just regular Bitcoin because of, you know, the tax benefit, and then also just overall the leverage rather than having to pretend you're in another country trading perpetual futures. Man, what a day. Trying to see. Gold's still in that beautiful little downtrend there. Trying to actually, it did set a higher low. Let me pull up. Let's see here. Wait, sorry, wrong one. Pulling up gold futures, it always confuses people. But those you like gold, remember, 4 hour order block is bouncing on this 5 minute. If we go to the 4 hour, we're inside of that order block, right? Well, actually, we just escaped it, but we really liked this level. We did like this level quite a bit here on gold, just because it was a previous high. You had a very clean retracement, then rally back through this level, which is very strong, something that we definitely have been looking for after that big push through 2K like we talked about. So hopefully we can get, you know, a decent bounce here and then retrace because of that big pump we just had recently. If we look at our 5 minute time frame, you can see here it came down middle of this 4 hour order block and then now set a higher low, and we're continuing. So in this case, looking for a setup, this so far looks really good, potentially for a long opportunity to at least retest. What do we have here? We have this low here. So this would be your target for a reject at the moment because of that low that's sitting there. But you are getting a change of character. You could consider this a very large bear flag forming, which I'm not a big fan of. But at the same time, though, based on how big these swing points are, definitely looks better for this being a bounce level rather than something like a bear flag. Futures, man, it's just like normal trading stocks or whatever. You're just trading a leveraged contract. You can get more bang for your buck trading, you know, margin, and you get a big tax benefit on a lot of these, which is good. But I'm gonna look through the 15-minute here on CL. The 15-minute on Bitcoin, let's see. It looked so good. Like the price action was so clean. See, this is a good example, guys, by the way, when we say, watch previous highs, right? Especially when you break out. So anything that was previously, supply or previously demand, it's going to turn into support and resistance, right? So this technically premium supply zone got broken, right? Price retraced. And this is a big reason why, you see people talk about fair value gaps, is because a lot of times when that supply is broken, you get a really big imbalance candle, and then that retracement honestly just comes back to the previous high zone. So this zone where it had that previous high in Bitcoin, you can see you had a lovely reaction that closed up. That's a great candle to take a low risk to reward trade to the upside. That's what you got. You got a beautiful little upside move there, strictly off of just that setup, which is really good. In this case, coming up, setting higher lows, breaking that high, took out the high, nice little liquidity sweep up there. Lower high forms, but continues down, takes out this low, right, and then recovers. This higher low here would be probably me personally, be the first thing I'd wait for a potential continuation to the upside. So in this case, essentially, when you're in a consolidation zone, you really want to look for clean levels, right? So if price were to hold roughly this area here, because value got taken out here on Bitcoin around the 41K, clearly didn't want to break below that. So with that value getting taken out below this low, we know structure did try to shift, right? Structure shifted, it gained that structure back, and you have the change of character. You did get a breakout. If you were to trade it off of a higher low or something, you could have been sitting pretty. But in this case, now, after you get that breakout, what I'm looking for is a retest. Yeah. See, I want to see a retest off this guy. There was probably an order block sitting there that is from the past. Let's see here. If there was one. Actually, you probably need to bring up let's bring up the breakers. Or wait, I got to bring up more. Let's see if we had one here. You're not going to give us that breaker block? I guess not. There's too many to the downside. Anyway, in this case, though, once again, a lot of times in there you can see an order block that was sitting there where it probably roughly bounced before. But for now, again, when you're holding these consolidations, you have to really identify that support and resistance, right? So seeing that first initial higher low coming out of that pump, getting retested and bouncing right here, right? Really good start to this potentially being a level in which we could act as an entry zone. A lot of times you do want to see it probably swept, at least the low of this swept, which you got here. It sweeps both sides. And then once you finally get that retracement back into it, then you look for a clean reaction, which, as you can see here, we had two levels that bounced and then a change of character and a pump. So, great price action here coming out of a consolidation, which is something we really like to see. And that was on a 15-minute time frame. So those of you that trade 15-minute, if we were to go back here, let's look at kind of how signals and overlays handled this. In this state, I'm going to turn on autopilot because I know a lot of you guys do use autopilot. So we'll look at our signals here with autopilot. And when you identify what's going on here, first off, you can see the overall sentiment at this level based on the money flow. Really strong bullish money flow. Usually a great first thing that I look at, right? In this case, we're getting signals that do conflict. They're coming back and forth. What I first like to identify when notifying if it is what you call it, when it is a choppy market, is the multiple change of characters. So like, are there multiple change of characters, and how is the how do the smart trail look, right? So first off, you do get to change character here. In my opinion, I'm first off going to look for, with this smart trail break, I'm looking for a short setup. I want to see that money flow flip. This is why money flow can be really important when identifying if this trend is actually moving. So change character, you have the smart trail flip and a 2 signal. If I were to take an entry on this, well, I need to see the money flow flip. Money flow doesn't flip at all. So that is a big indication that, okay, this level is not yet ready to actually, bounce, not yet to rally. Not yet ready to sell off at this level. I'm going to take off the fair value gaps here. So seeing that first change, right? I'm just not ready. Comes back, retraces to this, but money flow is still bullish. If this were to come back down here, we probably would have seen that money flow flip, and it probably actually would have come retest this low, but it didn't. So it came back. You had another change character. Notice this bear smart trail was flat. It's another indication that we are going to be chopping here, and we do. And from there, get a 3 signal out of this. Now, if I'm going to look for a proper setup, right, I want to see this obviously first retrace. Okay. But I want to see an increase on the money flow now. So remember, we've been decreasing from that original high, right? And we're still decreasing. We never had an increase coming into this, which isn't good. So that, first off indicates that money flow is still potentially coming out, right? The bullish money flow is potentially coming out of this level, right? So we do get that reject. We get the bearish change character. Then we have the bullish change character again. This is why Bitcoin, when you see these consolidation zones, you might want to wait and see kind of how it, holds up, right? Holds up here, get the turning point. Look at when you do actually see an increase. Notice, there's little tiny upticks here, little uptick, little uptick, little uptick. You don't actually see a significant move until this secondary breakout that we had before. So I've seen people do this too on the oscillator. The best part is you can edit it. So if you go into here, if you want to see a easier, movement style, we can go into the styles here. We can go into the money flow. We can click this and do like columns, right? This can really help with identifying, if the money flow is actually increasing just by the step columns, as you can see here. So notice you had a pull back here, but it kind of just flattened back out and went lower. In this case, you are increasing one after another. So seeing that as the first big move after it went to the red, that's going to tell me that this might be ready actually for a breakout this time. And like you have already seen, it did fully break out. So that's just something to keep an eye on when you're looking for that potential breakout. So great job for the move there. If you were to catch that based on just the oscillator, which is great. But man, if you were here earlier, we've gone over everything, but we can go over it again. Daily, we're looking for 45K on Bitcoin there. On that weekly chart, looking for that 45K mark. Mickey, I'm gonna have you take over real fast so I can blow my nose again.
yeah, no problem.
But
all right,
let's go look at some stuff. We got about 25 minutes here, guys, and then we'll continue, or then we'll see you next time, actually.
All right, Bitcoin. I have daily and 4-hour Bitcoin charts, and I want to go over creating a simple mechanical concept, for the new members or brand new to trading, and you don't know where to begin. Okay, so we're going to start with just for an example, so you can see the price action all in one chart, and I don't have to scroll. I'm going to use a daily. I'm going to use a daily time frame, top chart. Okay, I've turned on Neo Cloud, okay, and candle coloring, okay, candle coloring. Two core features of signals and overlays, okay. This is on a daily, okay. So you can see recently with Bitcoin, bullish Neo Cloud, okay. Candle coloring, bullish green. Don't even think about looking for shorts. There have been some nice short plays, absolutely. But for this mechanical concept, we have a bullish Neo Cloud. We are going to look for only longs. That is the rule, okay? So we have some good moves to the upside here, okay? We have a couple signals, you know, bullish signal. You take this one, bearish. You avoid this one, you wait for the next one, okay? So that is a very simple concept. For those of you that like to use top-down analysis with two charts, you know, I have 4-hour chart down below, okay? Same settings, okay? We take entry and we manage to trade on a lower time frame in the direction of a higher time frame chart. The higher time frame we have is a daily chart right now. The lower time frame is a 4-hour chart. This is my trade management chart. Okay. So how do we take trades on a lower time frame? Okay, for visual purposes, I am going to outline this Neo Cloud. Okay, I'm going to draw a box, and this box will auto-populate on my 4-hour chart, so you can visually see the price action during this time of period, okay? There you go. I'm going to draw that box, okay? Now you can see the same box is drawn on a lower time frame, okay? So let's scan. Let me try to condense this a little bit. Okay, there you go. This 4-hour box is the same box as this on the daily time frame, okay? Now, on a daily time frame, we have a bullish Neo Cloud, okay? So on a lower time frame, I'm only looking for bullish Neo Cloud on a 4-hour time frame, which is a lower time frame. Okay, here we go. On a daily chart, as soon as the Neo Cloud flipped bullish, I am going down to a lower time frame, which is my 4-hour right here. Okay. I am taking entry for a long right there. Okay, that's trade number one. On a 4-hour time frame, the Neo Cloud flipped bearish. At the same time, on a higher time frame, it remains bullish Neo Cloud. So this trade I am going to avoid. I'm going to sit on my hands. I'm going to wait. Okay. Now we have a signal and Neo Cloud turning bullish. Okay. At the same time, follow the cursor. At the same time, the higher time frame is still showing Neo Cloud bullish. So I'm taking this. Okay. On a lower time frame, Neo Cloud flips bearish. At the same time, higher time frame still showing bullish. I'm gonna let this pass me by. Even though it's a nice move, I'm gonna let this pass by because these are my rules. Okay, here we go. My first choppy trade. On a lower time frame, Neo Cloud slightly flips bullish. At the same time, Neo Cloud is still bullish. Based on this one rule, you take entry. in profit, back down to break even, or small loss. You move on. Flips to bearish. Higher time frame is still bullish. I'm gonna pass this trade. Now lower time frame flips bullish. Higher time frames continues to be bullish. Taking this trade.
What's up, Robbie?
All right. I'm on the right side of the trade. And now the trade is over. All right. Look at that. Look at this run.
Yeah, Alex,
Okay.
just stay tuned. Just keep visiting the website. It just
Okay.
It'll be something.
So if you blindly took the Neo Cloud flips on a lower time frame, you have winner chicken dinner. Right? So far. But now you ask me, well, how do I avoid this loss? This is where you build around your mechanical concepts. Now you can add confluence, right? You can add other indicators. You could say, I don't have a green candle coloring. It's still purple. All right, pass the trade. That could be one rule, okay? Another rule is you may add the oscillator matrix. Okay, incorporate that. Okay, incorporate that. How do I incorporate this? Okay, let's just say I took this signal to the upside. Right, I'm in profit a little bit, but I'm chopping around, but I'm still in profit or break even. On the matrix, we have a turning point down in the overbought zone. So you could exit right here. Now, if you were a computer, that is the exact same level as your entry right here. So if your fingers were that's fast, you broke even. So let's just say we're all humans. We have a little tiny loss. Okay? So if you slowly start to add other indicators, you can filter some of these trades, you know, but don't overdo it. Don't add 40 other indicators on top of your chart, because if you're going to wait for 40 confluences, you may not even get a trade, or the trade may come a little bit late. So there should be a happy balance with your style, right?
Happy.
I know, right? Where's my happy meme on top of your head? All right, so that's my 2 cents on a mechanical concept with signals and overlays. Mechanical concept meaning there's absolutely no ambiguity, and there's no really thinking. It's clear-cut rules. Okay,
Yes.
with this chart, it's just Neo Cloud, higher time frame, Neo Cloud direction. That is the direction I am going to enter on a lower time frame. That's it. So my example right here was a daily and a 4-hour. I only chose those two because of this live stream, and it shows me a complete months or weeks within, you know, this chart. I could do 4-hour and I could do 15 minutes. I could do 15 minutes and 5 minutes. The concept is the same. Just find your time frames that you're comfortable with. Cool? Everything good with that?
Everything's good.
15 minutes for Jacob.
All right, yeah, we'll do our closing remarks. Let's do one last look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's big thing today. This is the headline across all financial markets, man. We are beyond thrilled for those of you that are just now joining us for this big move we had. We are currently have a full-on target of Bitcoin hitting 45K. We'll come back this week, continue to analyze Bitcoin, but right now we're on the weekly chart. It's something we've been watching. We've been doing all of our analysis mostly on a weekly and a daily chart. 4 hours good for, you know, those of you that want to trade those lower time frames. But again, for Bitcoin, honestly, I would highly suggest, based on the way it moves, going for that long-term side more so than the short-term, you know, the people that trade, you know, those futures on Binance and stuff. You're honestly better off, you know, doing these long-term moves, especially with the current price action that we've been in. But for now, we have a weekly order block like we talked about several times at the 45K level. That's where it starts. Remember, there is also an imbalance sitting here that we are currently trying to fill. In this case, we're inside of it. We almost fully filled it. We really want to see if we can get through that. If that is the case on the bear side imbalance here, then I really think that we at least touch 46, which is dead center of that previous lower high. If that is the case, if that hits there, I think we will see some consolidation around the 45K. If not, 50K, big psychological level, that would be the overall, like, holy grail target for the end of the year. We'll see if we get it. This week been absolute monster. As you can see already this week, up, man, 10% this week. Like, that is just unheard of. I don't even think the SP 500 has made 10% this year. But this week alone, 10% on Bitcoin, 45K is that upside target. Gold, like we said, it broke through that 2100. Let me double check one more time. On the normal pair, it broke through the 2100 mark. We are currently at our previous high entry point. Previous high block here is what I like to say. You know, nice resistance there. We're inside of it right now. If we go to a 4 hour, sorry, I didn't mean to do that high. You can see we are at order blocks as well. We're at a 4 hour order block and a 1 hour overlapping. But it's really what I like is this previous high that we're retesting right now. We've already bounced off of this previous high. This was clear supply back in October. So we really want to see if we can hold that price. If we can, I see no doubt of us going back to $2,100. So Bitcoin and gold, the biggest watches right now. So let's head back. Look at the news for the rest of the week. We will be back on stream this week, so you'll get to have those live updates as well. But going into our news reports one last time here, guys, we have tomorrow, Wednesday, the 6th. Remember, we have non-farm productivity at 8:30, as well as crude oil inventories happening at 10:30. But ADP non-farm employment comes out at 8:15. That is an hour and 15 minutes before open. So understand that when that report comes out, when you see the price action, start looking for potential opportunities into the opening volume for the rest of the day. So this could set that this could set the essential sentiment for the rest of the day. So really pay attention around that time at 8:15, an hour 15 minutes before open tomorrow, to see if we can get a nice move just off of that report. If it's already been priced in, you'll know price won't react very much. So we'll see. If you have questions about what ADP non-farm employment does, you can right click here on investing.com, or sorry, not right click. You can just click it, and you can go in and read about, what you want to look for in a good report. Again, this is being expected reading should be taken positive or bullish for the USD if it's higher than expected. This is the USD, right? This is the dollar index, the DXY, the Dixie. Remember, the stock market usually trades opposite the Dixie. So if the dollar index is going up, more than likely the stock market is going down. Depending on the volatility, it could be trading in in the same volatility where it's back and forth, the exact same. But more than likely, if it's trending in either direction, it's overall opposite the stock market. So pay attention to what that happens tomorrow, what comes out tomorrow for that. It's predicted 128K. Last was reported at 113K. If you want, go back, look at the last report, see how price was affected when that was reported, and then you'll understand a little more of how the market might move based on tomorrow's report. Crude oil at 10:30. For those of you that trade crude oil futures, like myself, that report's huge, 1.69 million. We were well on the positive the last time. We'll see if that ends up being the positive again. This is previous report. We don't have a forecasted just yet. Hopefully we get a forecasted before tomorrow. If not, I do think that we might see a negative report just based on the value of it right now. We'll see if that pops up. If not, I think maybe we will see a higher amount of barrels sort of way, but just wait and see. Thursday, 8:30, jobless claims like always, right on schedule. That seems to be it on Thursday. So Thursday should be a fun little trading day. Not a crazy amount of earnings, but Friday, super important day. You need to stay focused on Friday because 8:30, hour before open, we have non-farm payroll. Okay, huge number there, huge report that's coming out. And the average hourly earnings, and even bigger on the unemployment rate. It's set at 3.9%, right? If that were to hit at 3.9%, which it more than likely will, the forecasting is usually pretty strong. You're probably not going to see too much of a change because it is more than likely already priced into the market. So if not, if that is a different number, then you'll probably see a pretty decent reaction. Regardless, just be prepared for volatility at 8:30, 1 hour before market open on Friday, okay? And then I don't think we have anybody talking Friday later. We do have the Michigan reports coming out. I was going to see if we had any
Wolverines.
Any bond auctions. Not really. We have bill auctions on Thursday, but I'm not seeing anything too crazy. That seems to be all the news for the rest of the week. So just be ready. If you need to know this over again, I will be posting it in the LuxAlgo Discord. So please join that below as well. Discord.gg/Lux. You can type that in and also be in there. It's completely free for all you guys. If you do sign up for a premium plan, you can get access to a more exclusive section of the Discord. But one last time, guys, you can get 30 days risk-free using all 3 of the premium indicators that you saw today. If you just go to our website, LuxAlgo.com. But also, if you have more questions, make sure to hit that resources tab and then go to guides. And then you can see the full-on documentation. This is absolutely free for anybody of all of our indicators and the features that we provide. So has the backtesting system in there as well if you want to learn more about the backtesting system. And then all 3 of the indicators, offset matrix, signals and overlays, and price action concepts. But also link down there to the Discord as well. And then, look over it. If you have questions for us the next time we come back, feel free to save those questions and we'll be happy to answer them. But also check out the backtesting system. This is a new product we just released over Black Friday. You can now backtest any given strategy that you come up with or already have using our indicators, make sure it's profitable, and learn how to optimize that strategy to be the most profitable it can be. So go check that out. Just click products at the top, backtesting system. You can learn more about it, as well as on our YouTube channel. We have a full video overview that you can watch as well. That's live already on the YouTube. So go check out that if you want to learn more about the backtesting system and our ultimate plan. But last but not least, the library. We like to give you guys at least something free to go check out. We have hundreds of free indicators for those of you that are new here. We release new indicators nearly every week. At this rate, yes, every week. As you can see here today, December 4th, yesterday, we had a market flow, trend line, and liquidity indicator that we just released. And that is, based on what it says here, you can understand what that might help you with on whatever type of trading that you do. But again, if you are a support resistance trader, you're a volume trader, you're a forecasting trader, you're an oscillator trader, artificial intelligence trader, we have an indicator in there that's probably going to help you. So feel free to go check that out and kind of scroll through, see what you like. We also do have indicators available on other platforms like Thinkorswim, right? A lot of you guys trade on TD Ameritrade, right? Like Thinkorswim, we do have certain indicators available for Thinkorswim. If you're a MetaTrader person, we have free indicators available on MetaTrader. Like the predictive ranges used to be a premium indicator that is now available on MetaTrader. And then like NinjaTrader, we have NinjaTrader as well, and then TradeStation. Anything new though is only available on TradingView. We are going to eventually have them available on other platforms as we see fit, if it's able to be on that platform. Eventually it will be. But one thing to note with these free indicators, because we release them every single week, these don't get updated that often. If there's a clear bug, if there's clear issues, they will get updated, of course. and we get that in our feedback. We want to make sure that we're keeping these at least working for you, but they don't get nearly as updated as much as our premium indicators. We are constantly releasing updates for the premium, and you can see those update notes within the TradingView profile overview of the indicator as well. If you need to see the release notes, as well as on our website, we have the release notes as too. So you can look that up just by hitting your premium here and clicking something like let's see, like price action concepts. You can see our release notes near the bottom of this page as well. So just so you know, yes, these are constantly updated to make sure we are giving you the highest of quality features in order to figure out and learn how to be a profitable trader. So I want to make sure that no matter what, we're here to help you get to that goal of being a successful trader. It's very difficult, right? And here comes the quick spiel I have for you guys for the day, and maybe Mickey will have something to remind you of his quote of the day or tip of the day. We talk about this a lot. And I'm going to actually take this off so we can have, you can see the end there. Bam. But real fast before we close out, Dow Jones down 150 points. Nearly a full percent. SP 500 down 8 points. Not much on that one. NASDAQ is actually still green. So not a terrible day for the overall market. Bitcoin obviously being the biggest gainer of the day. Monster move. Remember, 45K is our overall target. We'll see if we can hit that end of this week. That would be awesome. But guys, we appreciate you being here. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, because we will be back. The stream will just be getting better. We'll start to be back more and more. We want to make sure we give you the highest of quality and production, as well as analysis. So, you know, we're here to answer any questions that you may have and want to help you. Obviously, you can reach out to us via the Discord in DMs if you have personal questions you want to ask, something about what specific trading strategy that we use, or like if there's certain tips that we're not showing on here that you want to know about. Please reach out to us. We're happy to answer those questions. You'll see us throughout the Discord as we're trading throughout the day with the rest of the group. Hopefully my nose can clear up, because I'm sick of not being able to breathe through it. But if you guys have any tips for me on fixing this problem, I would really appreciate it. I've been doing, what's it called? Oh, man. What's the one you have to buy over the counter, Mickey? What's that medicine? You have to present your ID for. So people don't go make meth with it.
I don't know, saline?
Saline, not saline. Anyway, I'm trying to fix my nose issues, but my allergies have been horrible recently. But to kind of close this here, guys, if you want to be a profitable trader, the first thing you need to really focus on is getting that step-by-step system. You need to have a system in place that you can follow, rules, whatever you want to call it, to where you can take your personal emotions out of it. Once you figure out that system, then you need to figure out your risk. Risk is a big part of that emotional side as well. So the best part is nowadays with these prop firms, you can kind of learn what your risk might be based on using a prop firm. You can, get a free account as well and do it through some of these brokers. But if you do trade a prop firm, it's a good start for understanding your limits, right? Finding your limits is really hard for new people that are learning how to trade. And that's something that, you really need to focus on if you are starting out. And, paper trading can be a good start to that. But I will say, don't paper trade for too long, because then you don't have the real emotions when it comes to winning and losing real money. So, because the fear and greed really spikes when you actually have real risk in the market. So that's why we say have a step system, have something in place to where you can follow those rules. If those rules don't line up, you're not trading, or you're not, taking that opportunity because they didn't line up for you. You're not FOMOing anything because your rules didn't line up. And that's something that we highly suggest figuring out for yourself. And if you need help with that, that's why we have the community. We have already set strategies in place on the community through our, what do we call it now? Is this still the same?
User strategy.
Yes, we have a user strategy section where we post strategies that users have posted that we've realized work really well for people that what to have, what already set that we know works for certain users. We have a guy, we have a few Lux pros in there that have come up with strategies that work really well for them. Some of them use one feature, some of them use 5 features. We've tried to go over certain strategies using all of our indicators, because for me personally, I like using all of them, waiting for all of them to line up, and then taking a trade based on what it's telling me. But that's just if they do all line up. So that is one of my rules for one of my swing trading strategies, is looking for the setup when everything is telling me it's time, right? That's the last thing I'm going to leave you with, is patience. Patience is the number one thing in trading that's going to set you apart from everybody else. If you're waking up, getting on the computer, looking for a trade immediately, then that is not the right way to do it. You need to be having that step system, but also with that step system, it's going to create patience. But if you're not creating a system and you're good at being patient, then you know what? You might actually just be a better trader than actually following a system. So first thing, if you don't have a system, maybe work on patience as much as you can, waiting for price to present an opportunity on whatever asset you're trading before actually executing that trade. So biggest thing I'll leave you with for me is patience and having that system in place. I don't know if Mickey, you have anything you want to spiel before we bounce here, but that is very, very important.
My advice for everyone trying to trade for the first time is to keep it simple. Less is more when you start. Okay. In the past streams, I've discussed how I could actually trade with one horizontal line. Okay. Search through the streams, or tag me in the Discord and I'll post it. You start from there, right? Less is more when you're starting to trade, and then you can build from there. Okay.
Less is more, baby. But from all of us here at LuxAlgo, we really appreciate you guys being here. Prepare for some fun streams coming. We do have a holiday sale as well coming. As you guys wait for a discount. It's not gonna be nearly as big as Black Friday. Black Friday deal is once a year. If you actually want to get a hefty discount on all of our products, Black Friday is that deal. But we do have a deal coming out here shortly, sometime this December, to kind of give you a little bit extra off on the price, but just stay tuned for that. But patience for me. Mickey's saying, just step back and what were you saying? Sorry, I completely missed it.
Oh, step back and drink a beer.
Step back and drink a beer. I need a beer right now. Oh gosh. All right, I'm gonna go deal with my nose issues. But we'll be back more than likely tomorrow or Thursday. We'll keep you updated in the Discord. We'll create an event for it. But thanks for being here. Subscribe and hit that like button, and we'll see you guys very soon.
All right. Have a good one, guys. See you in Discord. Later.
Oh, man. All right. See ya.